Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for part 2 of the Batman Arkham Origins Christmas Festival Extravaganza. Part 2, you know what I mean. I haven't thought of an official name for this. I think I titled part 1 something festive, like, I think it was something like the Christmas Festival or something like that. But anyway, playthrough for Christmas, you get the gist of it. Oh, it looks like we're, put me back a little bit than where we were, but that's cool. I just get to, beat some more penguin goon ass before we start. That's totally fine. Thank you for everyone. I uploaded part 1 just last night, so part 1 is live. I'm also, bear with me, this is my first time ever doing something like this, so I'm fully aware that in the part 1 you can hear me beat the absolute shit out of my Xbox controller while I'm playing. I'm working on that. I think I figured that out, actually, but if not, I apologize. Fear is a tool! Here we go. I'm going to say that every time I do an attack like that. I'm sorry. Here we go. Hopefully I fight a little bit better this round. I honestly was a little ashamed at my performance on part 1. When I play these, I fully expect myself not to get hit. That's just... maybe it's the ego and the proudness of a Batman. Yep, see, I got hit. Okay. But just, I expect myself, I put myself on a pedestal that I shouldn't, but that doesn't always mean that I am great at it. But here we go, so far. Like I said, he's a little bit slower in this one, too, compared to the other ones. So that's really, you just have to wait for it to click and everything like that. But back to the old... classic black bat claw pull rafter shit show. I guess we might as well upgrade real quick, though. I honestly haven't been paying too much attention to these upgrades. When you play these enough, it's kind of just, it's the same stuff, it's just a checklist to mark them all off and everything like that. I hope everyone's having a good Christmas. I'm bringing this up because this is obviously a tradition for me to play through this every Christmas, and I know everyone has their own. If you're a Batman fan, you might have yours as own. I mean, we do have a Batman Christmas movie, of course, with Batman Returns. I watched that last night, actually, and, it's crazy, everyone, because, I love that film. Anytime someone asks me, I have nothing against the film. And when I think of it, I always think of fond memories. But for whatever reason, I have a hard time watching that one in one sitting. I don't know what it is. Well, actually, I do. I think that's what I was getting to, is that as much as I love it and the atmosphere is ungodly and, everyone's performance is good, with that, I tend to like my Batman stories very serious. So I honestly don't like jokes other than if it's very smart humor thrown in there, very light, maybe a chuckle. But full-on comedy, I don't like. And this is nothing against Danny DeVito, because that's a no-brainer casting choice, right? But for whatever reason, with him playing that, and you're casting him just as, when you cast Danny DeVito, you're going to get comedy. When you cast Jim Carrey as the Riddler, you're going to get their personalities intertwined into those films. But over time, the comedy that Danny DeVito brings sometimes I feel like just takes me out of the experience a little bit, if that makes sense, It goes from, the dark, he's biting people's noses off and all that. I'm like, okay, cool. But then he just throws the joke and the sexual innuendos and other things that you're like, hey, now that's not the Penguin, that's the Danny DeVito coming out, that it kind of throws me off to where, I kind of had to take breaks in between just to... get through it. But I did, of course. Electrocutioner fight. The most iconic, difficult, famous fight of all time in the entire Arkham series. I love watching playthroughs of people do this fight, especially if it's their first time, way back when this came out, because just no one knows what to do. So you see people, it goes into this moment, and they're throwing batarangs at him, trying to counter, diving, just what the hell are you doing? But, if you just... I always do this because I think it looks the coolest. Just right as you get that minute, you just sprint. That's exactly how he would do it. Sprint, kick, boom. That's how, in my mind, that's how Batman... This is the canon way that this fight happened. What a mic drop, too. This is one thing I said I love about this Batman game is that attitude. Like, he literally just knocked the shit out of that guy, and he's right back to business. Just no issues, full throttle. Like, all right, who wants to show me I could give two shits about the guy on the ground right now? Fighting's feeling a little bit better right now. You know, one thing, you know, if you've played this as many times as I have in these games, you've seen every counter and punch imaginable. But, you know, still sometimes when I play these, oh, god dang it, I had a good run there, but I'll still throw out a particular counter or kick that feels new to me sometimes, especially in Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight, if there's one thing they did right, was the amount of counters and situational counters and moves they intertwine into that game depending on what Batman's doing, where he's positioned, and that same vice versa for the Goon is incredible. Like, I've played that game I can't tell you how many times, and there's still times that I am fighting someone where he does something where I'm like, I swear I have never seen that before done in my life. It's, oh wow, when I'm trying to talk and tell stories, yeah, I'll admit, this is my first time doing this. I give streamers and these playthrough people credit because, you know, again, I shouldn't be getting hit, but when you're kind of bullshitting at the same time, yeah, it's a little bit harder. Fun fact for you all, too. Ask me if the first episode I recorded, I played through the entire hour, and I was recording my audio, and then I hit stop and hit play to hear if everything went okay, and you know what I got in my audio? Jack shit. Absolutely nothing. Zero. Silence. Silence of the Lambs. Silence. Nothing. So that was a really fun time. I had to completely redo that whole playthrough, which was just wonderful. Tracy and Candy. Candy girl. Anybody ever heard that Jackson 5 song? Candy. A candy girl. I'm sorry. I thought I was going the wrong way for a minute. Everybody remember there's that Queen Industries container in that room back there? Yeah, that really led to something, didn't it? After all that speculation and teases. And the Queen Industries building in Arkham Knight. Yeah, we really got a lot out of that, didn't it? Mm-hmm. You know, he would have... I mean, I'm not going to dive into that Suicide Squad game very much, but... like, as far as gameplay and characters to play as, Green Arrow would have been a pretty fun character to play in that game. My initial thoughts on that game, I'm not going to lie to you all, like, I really loved the story and had a good... like, well, loved as in, like, I had a fun time playing through it. You know, it made me chuckle a couple times, but then, I mean, for me, it was once I beat the story is when you find out just how piss poor that entire plan was for that game. Because games like that, if you do like it, you start to think about the future and possibilities. Like, what they're going to add in the characters and this and that. So, like, my buddy I was playing it with, we were all like, man, we can't wait for this. You know, the rumor is they might add Red Hood, which then, you know, how would that tie in with the end of Arkham Knight? And, like, they'll dive into so much Arkham lore, and it was just nothing. Such a shame, but I honestly think, you know, maybe they did have bigger plans, but with the reception and the changes at WB, they must have just kind of canned it. Same with Gotham Knights, which I might do a playthrough of Gotham Knights. Actually, I think I will, because I know it's not... like, I'll be honest with you, I loved Gotham Knights. Now, it's not an Arkham game, but I feel like there was a lot that went on in that game. Like, the hate train for it kind of... I felt like a lot of people were complained or talked about that game without necessarily going into it with an open mind. Like, it kind of the internet kind of swayed, I think, a lot of people into going into that game just already believing in their mind it sucks. But everyone I've played that with or know who has played it has absolutely loved that game. And like, sure, there's not the counters and other things, but still the combat, like the variety in combat with the abilities and the combos and other things is still incredible. And I don't know, I kind of hope that game gets a little bit of a renaissance. But the breaking thing is too, just like Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights was far better in my opinion, but that game, even if it, you know, was a 6 out of 10 game for you with more content and support, I mean, the world they could have dived into with that stuff would have been amazing. I'm going to talk over me throwing that extra batarang because it was a little embarrassing and I don't know why he did that. You know, I'm kind of wondering right now, because this is a beginning Batman story, of where I prefer my Batman to be as far as career and experience-wise and stories. And it's always cool to see the young one learning and adapting and seeing and it being introduced to people the first time. But maybe it's because we get it so much in movies lately, too. Like, I'm just ready for a fully experienced, fleshed-out Batman. The next interpretation we get him in live action. No origin story, no meeting this person, none of this, not, oh, it's really grounded and real, or he's still figuring things out. Like, just plop him in like he's the animated series Batman. Every fantasy aspect's there. There's no, you know, shackles on, we have to keep this realistic or grounded. No, just dive into that world just like the animated series. Isn't that weird? They have the ultimate blueprint for a Batman film and how to do it, and they're just like, no, we're okay. Shadow and Smokes looks really good right there, doesn't it? I was kind of just admiring that. Candy, where are you? Oh yeah, she's there. She is up at the top. You know, I actually saw, speaking of Batman Returns, has anybody seen they actually made that into a Christmas book? Like a children's Christmas book. You can go buy it at Barnes & Noble right now. It's pretty much just the exact short form storytelling of the movie, so it's nothing unique. But, I mean, it's like the artwork and other things. You know, I think if you're a fan, it's worth picking up. It's cool. I haven't picked it up yet, though, saying that. However, speaking, you know, in the Nolan verse, if people, for any fans of the Nolan Burton verse out there, if you want to dive more into that world, now, there is the conversation because Tim Burton wasn't quite, you know, involved with these stories, so this is up to you, but an author by the name of John Jackson Miller has made 2 novels now, basically being a continuation of the Burton universe. The first one was Batman Revelations. I read that one. Really cool twist and interpretation of how he introduces new villains and takes people from the film that, truth be told, you wouldn't even really bat an eye about when you watch it, but then he kind of intertwines them to have a very cool and important aspect of the story, and he knows what he's doing when he's writing those. Like, it's very faithful, but I'm actually kind of looking at, he just had the sequel come out called Batman Revolution, which introduces the Riddler into that universe, which everyone kind of knows famously that Robin Williams was going to headline that one. Now, I don't think it's not like that where he's writing the Riddler and it's in the eyes of what Robin Williams' interpretation would be, but it's just him introducing the Riddler, and I'm not too far into it. I just kind of started it, but for anyone interested and really is a fan of that world, Batman Resurrection was the first one, excuse me. But anyone interested in that world, I would highly recommend diving into that. You know, whatever way they introduce another Batman game, whether it's an Arkham game or a completely new ploy, I'm ready for this sequencer to go out. I mean, it died down a little bit in Arkham Knight, but the more you play these games, you kind of start to realize they relied on that a lot. I mean, for how much I love this game, you can even just count through the opening act how many times you have to take this out to track signals or something. That's just like, you know, there's funner ways to, you know, to do that. You know what I mean? Hold on. What the heck? There we go. My controller disconnected for a minute. We're good though. We're back. That was weird. Heading up. Oh wait, is this one Tracy? Candy. Candy. What's going on? That better be a lip gloss you're reaching for. Hell yeah. I like that modded Arkham Origins face I mentioned I added on. I got nothing wrong with the original face, but it kind of adds a little bit more characteristics to it, I think. Speaking of this suit in general, if anyone's a fan of the Arkham Origins suit, oh, I think it's InArt Studios just announced pre-orders for a figure they're doing. I think it's a 1/6 scale figure of the Arkham Origins suit, like figure. Oh my god, it looks incredible. Maybe I have to get it. Oh lord! Big Hoss. Big Hoss. You know, the way that these combat takedowns are just so famous in the Arkham games, if I were a lead developer, honestly, like, you know, I'd add on as many just sheer cool takedowns I could possibly think of. But to be honest, like, kind of like The Witcher did, I feel like if they ended up making a DLC that was like, hey, here's a DLC coming out, and we're adding 20 new combat takedowns and stealth takedowns to Batman, who wouldn't buy it? You know what I mean? I would. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I'll get the smoke grenade. I don't really use smoke grenades very much in these. Little stealth action here. Right to the gargoyle. You guys know the drill. Yep. Man, the inverted takedown, man. I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but back when this series was just starting, Arkham Asylum, they actually released a demo before the game came out. And, I mean, nobody knew what they were getting into when that demo came out. But, you know, things are different. You know, when you're younger, like, I was just getting... I played that demo non-stop repeatedly just until Arkham Asylum came out. Just I would play the exact same thing over and over, anticipation, trying to get as good as I can. And I remember the first time I did an inverted takedown, just thinking that was the coolest thing in the world, which it still is. Like, the first time you hang someone from a gargoyle like that, you're like, oh my god. I got it. I was never not a fan. I'd say, well, I was always a diehard fan, but if you're a diehard fan from when you're younger up until, you know, things go out through life, it's not that being a fan dies, but, you know, things come up and life happens to where it might just get pushed to the wayside a little bit. And I owe a lot to these Arkham games to kind of bring me back to that. Because at the time, you know, you enter into junior high and high school and, I mean, football and all the sports I was playing, to where, like, being a proud Batman fan kind of just wasn't there as much as I was a fan. And then, and then these Arkham games came out, and even though I didn't you know, broadcast it to everyone around me, but those who really knew me knew I was just obsessed with these games. Arkham Knight was probably my most anticipated game that had ever come out, and I remember it launched the day I had my first day of summer camp, 2-a-days in football. That was the closest I probably ever got to just wondering if I should just quit. You know, is it worth it? I of course didn't, but man, that was a long practice. That was a long 4-hour practice just to make it even better. Here, oh, that's Candy. Okay.
Little Alberto over here. Hey, baby. Tried to convince his father to
Also should mention in this breaking news, if anybody heard, you know, I kind of covered the Brad Pitt casting in the Batman a bit, and apparently it got denied. And now it's going around currently live that he was either approached to play Two-Face, and then I've seen some people say he was approached to play Dr. Arkham. And then the original reporter of it, Jeff Snyder, actually said that he was approached to play Two-Face, I believe, and Scarlett Johansson was actually approached to play Harvey Dent's wife, Gilda. And I don't know. That's not the... I always was afraid, and I used to tell people, watch that casting be less exciting than we're all anticipating with Andrea, and it kind of feels like that. I mean, it... You know, I think I don't think we need Harvey Dent in the sequel. Supporting cast, whatever, but it just kind of feels like if he's a real prominent player or villain in this, we're kind of just rehashing story elements that we've kind of done in every Batman film now, you know. But I have faith in Matt Reeves, you know. You never know. He knows what he's doing. How long do you think Batman stood there before he threw that batarang? I love watching Batman just manhandle people. Or not people, the Penguin in this series. Like this, throwing them, picking them up, one-handed, punch him, and then Arkham City, you know, he kicks him at the beginning, breaks his hand, kicks him off the table. Like, it's just hilarious how he just throws Penguin around like a 5-pound dumbbell. Which is probably what he feels like, because, I mean, Batman's just literally... I mean, look at that. Like, peak human god performance.
You're running out of time. Wait. Lazy Towers. There was a murder.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got problems of his own, I'd say.
Oh boy. Yep. The Terminator. Deathstroke. I love that little music beat right there when they introduce him. I also love, too, in this, like, back to the confidence, again, this Batman has in this game. Like, clearly you're assuming Deathstroke is, well, a veteran in this, and Batman's just kind of getting going, but at no point is that shown, like, throughout this entire game, I wouldn't even say Batman's Deathstroke's equal. He very much so is the better fighter and much more dominant in these aspects and everything, and I kind of like that. Like, he almost kind of shows Deathstroke like, hey, I'm not someone to be messed with. You know, it always kills me when I watch people do these playthroughs. No one uses their B and Y combat takedown on him. Oh, god damn it. Like, everyone, you see just like a normal combat encounter, you get that combat takedown, and for whatever reason, no one ever uses it. I don't know why, but it's an automatic, quick time, like, cutscene, takes down his health. The Batclaw's the real cheat in this fight. I mean, literally, just anytime, if he gets too far, you know, you're hurting, like, the Batclaw is just broken in this cutscene. Or, not cutscene, fight scene. Boss fight. Kabang! Yep, see, there you go. Just like that. Perfect. Textbook. And I missed. Palm to the back. Here we go. Reminiscent of the Ra's al Ghul fight here. Beat the puberty out of you. I love this part. This part's so badass. Boom. Just the sheer attitude, man. These are my favorite in this boss fight. The bow staff's cool, but the counter sequences you get with the sword like that, like, oh, it's so cool. That's probably my favorite one with the two punches. There we go. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. I know some people aren't like a huge fan of like the quick time events because you're just hitting a button, but I'm sorry, like things like these in video games to me are so cool. Like I'm fine just kind of hitting the button at the right time for aspects like that. Like those just look too cool. Probably about the end of the fight right here. Yep. Joey. Hell yeah. I mean, what? Look at just a way to assert your dominance, man. It's kind of Batman shit you just love right here, dude. You think in the original script when he asked "What are you?" they originally had him say "I'm Batman"?
Nice saying you, Batman. Feel free to let yourself out.
Oof.
I can't let Penguin get away. There's more I need to ask him.
Ah, yes, the most broken gadget in the entire Arkham series. I am happy to add this to my arsenal. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for part 2. This is a quick one, just in the short amount of time I have. I'll be back with more, of course, as we play through the entire game. I hope everyone who gets a chance and finds this video enjoys it. Maybe my commentary's okay, but thank you to everyone for the support. This is like I've said, my first time doing something like this, so technical wise, as my channel grows, hopefully I'll get better stuff and better ways to do it. But for right now, thank you to everyone who is just out here supporting my cute little Batman channel as it grows. But as for now, this has been Hayden Barton for the Batman Tradition. Thank you all so much. I love you. Take care.
I should use the device I took from Deathstroke to grapple out of here.